Hey guys, welcome to my channel, The Bird's Nest, all about freedom, motherhood, and minimalism. Today I just want to dive right into it. On my last video, I spoke about my son's periodic fever syndrome and what we're doing to try to help that. Something that we came across in our research is called the AIP diet, which is the Autoimmune protocol. The AIP diet is super similar to the PALEO diet, which is very popular, so you shouldn't have like a problem making the switch over because it's a very similar, but it's more strict. It's a little bit more strict, but it's very similar to the PALEO diet, and there's lots and lots of PALEO options at the grocery store. So these days it's kind of really not that hard to be on any kind of diet that you want. This diet is helpful for people with autoimmune disorders as well as autoinflammatory disorders and things of that nature. It's helpful for people with lupus and celiac disease and any like arthritis even. It's just like anything with your immune system, with your inflammation of your body, like anything like that. I personally think it's good for everyone. It can also be great for leaky gut, which I don't know a lot about. If you have it, leaky gut, check out the AIP diet. It's supposedly super helpful for that. There's not a ton of research done on this diet. Always ask your doctor before going on a new diet. I am not a doctor, like whatsoever at all. I am just a mom trying to figure out the best thing for my child. So always ask your doctor, as we always ask our doctor before we start anything. The AIP diet is basically an elimination diet. It's taking out all of the kinds of foods that cause inflammation in the body or bad reactions and replacing it with very nutrient dense, vitamin filled, good for you food. I mean, that's what we're all kind of trying to do anyways, but it's a little bit more complicated than that, because there's things that you would think are fine for you, but on this diet might not be. One of those things are nightshades, so nightshade vegetables, tomatoes, peppers, potatoes, eggplants, and they believe that these nightshade vegetables can cause a certain reaction in the body to cause inflammation. The way that this diet works is that you take everything bad out and you just replace it with everything good immediately. So you don't slowly take things out that you think would be bad. Like you don't just, oh, I won't eat pasta, I won't eat dairy, I won't eat sugar, I won't eat this or that, and see how I feel. No, you take all the bad out all at once. Eat like that for a little while, then see how you feel. After that point, after you feel better, you can start reintroducing things. Let's say, okay, I really want to see if eggs will work for me. Like, I'm not sure if eggs make me feel bad or not, because I was eating all this bad stuff, so I'm really not sure what was a trigger for me and what wasn't a trigger for me. So you add the eggs. You eat your clean diet plus the eggs only for like a week, a few days, 4 to 5 days a week. You see how you feel. If you feel still great, eggs are fine. Keep eggs in your diet. If you start feeling sick, you know that it's the eggs because you had already eliminated everything, so you know that it's the eggs. Next week, you try something new. Oh, I'm obsessed with pasta. Pasta is my favorite food. I want to try to see if I can tolerate pasta. Put pasta in, see if you can tolerate it. If you can't, you take it out. If you can, great, you keep it in. Tomatoes, nightshade vegetable, try that the next week. You just try different things. It's a process. It takes a while, but then you know for sure what works and what doesn't work. On the reintroduction phase of the food, what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to start out with a small amount, a teaspoon. See how you feel after a couple of hours. If you feel good, you can have a little bit more, like a few tablespoons, and then see how you feel after a couple of hours. At that point, if you still feel good, you can start eating regular portions of the food for the next week or so. And then if you feel good after that week, you're good to go. Also, when reintroducing things, they kind of want you to start small. So if you're eating dairy, if you're reintroducing dairy, if that's the thing you're reintroducing, they want you to start off with something that has the least dairy, the least lactose content in it. And then start working your way up. Like, you don't want to start like chugging a cup of milk, because that might be a lot. You kind of want to like start small and work your way up to something bigger. You don't really want to do the reintroduction stuff when you're not feeling your best. So if you're very stressed, if you didn't sleep well, if you're not feeling well because you have a cold or something like that, you don't want to reintroduce foods then, because it's going to be really hard to tell like why you don't feel good and what's really going on. You want to introduce the foods when you're feeling great. Benefits of this diet include no more stomach pain, no more joint pain, no more headaches, no more fatigue, no more mood issues, no more sleep issues, things like that. Like, it could really change your life around, I feel like, even if you don't have an autoimmune or an autoinflammatory disorder. But remember, there's not a ton of research on this. A lot of doctors will probably say it's all phooey-hooey, but you got to make up your own mind, do what you own think. As long as you're getting all of your vitamins, all of your nutrients, eating enough, getting all of everything that you need, I really don't see anything wrong with this diet, but ask your doctor. So I'm just gonna go over real quick foods not to eat that you can't eat on this diet, and foods that are encouraged on this diet. So you do not want to eat dairy, gluten, grains, things like that, legumes, nightshade vegetables like we talked about, eggs, nuts and seeds, alcohol, really inflammatory, caffeine like coffee, like large amounts of caffeine, processed vegetable oils, refined sugars, and food additives like chemicals that they add to food to like make it taste different or make it like thicker. Things that you do want to eat: most vegetables are great except for the nightshade vegetables. Fruits, they say to kind of limit that, but use your own discretion for that. Tubers like sweet potato, artichokes, yams, that kind of thing, those are good. Non-processed meats, like something wild, something not pumped full of antibiotics, not pumped full of chemicals. Wild meats, wild fish, you want to stick with that. You don't want to get the processed stuff. Fermented probiotic kinds of foods, good for your gut health. Sauerkraut, kombucha, kefir, the good oils, the avocado oils, the coconut oils, the olive oils. Make sure you do your research when you buy them, but those are the good oils. Herbs and spices are all good. Vinegars are all good. Natural sweeteners, honey, maple syrup, those are both good, and, you know, I think more delicious than the refined stuff. You can have certain tea also on this diet. Like green and black tea are okay, but everything you want to kind of do that in moderation. The last thing is broth, like bone broth, which can be really, really, really good for you. So that's kind of like the main kind of list of the different things that you can eat and not eat, and, you know, try to just find something that works best for you. So I am totally new to this diet. Like I said, we are just researching it now because of our son. He has an autoinflammatory disorder that we talked about in our last video, and we thought that something like this could help. Now, our son is a toddler, so we are not full force going with this protocol. We are not doing it just like they tell you to do it, where you eliminate everything and then add things in. We are not going to be eliminating everything, because there's some certain things that, because he is a toddler, he definitely needs. So we are going to do what we can, which is all any of us can ever do. What we can. We are going to try to take out everything that we can while still leaving in the things that he absolutely needs. And, you know, he'll be on a multivitamin, he'll get all of his nutrients, he still has a bottle of formula a day, so he gets a lot of vitamins like that. Other than that, we do want to see if we try to eat a little cleaner, a little healthier, if this will work. Our son is also like 80% gluten-free already before we started this diet, because I am gluten-free and it is hard to make like 3 different meals for 3 different people every day. So he did get some gluten because I felt like it was important for him to try all the different kinds of foods so that he wouldn't develop an intolerance. And then he is dairy free as well, because like I talked about in my last video, he is on a medication for his periodic fever syndrome, which makes him intolerant to dairy. Up until this point, he has also been a vegetarian. He hasn't had any meat, but with not being able to eat dairy, and also taking out a couple of other things because of the AIP diet, we are actually going to try meat. At least we'll try some bone broth to start off with and see how that works and go from there. Alright guys, thanks for watching. If you have any questions, post in the comments below. Like I said, I am not an expert on this. We're all figuring it out along as we go together. So there might be a couple of things that I missed. Make sure to do your own research. Make sure to talk to your doctor, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye!